The following program is a special presentation from AM 670 KLTT.
Mike Treen with Crawford Broadcasting here, and we're joined by Cherri Campbell. Cherri is the host of Victorious Faith, heard 6 a.m. Monday through Friday on KLTT, also on our sister station KLDC. The best way, you can hear Cherri a couple different times on both stations, both KLTT and KLDC. So go to the station lineups to get all those so you have a chance to listen. And then you have a new book, Cherri, called Adventures with Jesus, a journal of my world missionary travels. So with all that said, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much, Mike. It's just a joy to be with you today.
Well, it's wonderful to be with you because we have so much exciting news. There's so much that you've been working on, and we'll try to unpack it all. I think we'll get through all of it. One of the key things we want people to know about is your new book, Adventures with Jesus. So you have 3 books. This is the latest. You also have now an online bookstore. So let's share a little bit about that. Then I'll talk about my experiences with the book too.
Well, the online bookstore is brand new, and it's the new Victorious Faith online discount Christian bookstore. And you can go to vfchristianbookstore.com to check it out. We have now over 700 titles with your favorite authors and titles, bestsellers, and they're all at discounted prices. And the good thing is that the proceeds and the profits go to the support of the gospel and the preaching of the gospel.
That's an important distinction, isn't it? So many booksellers, the profits go to a person or a company, or to things that aren't really about the gospel. And in your case, I love that it's your books, but also so many other titles that you kind of handpicked and said, here's people who have influenced me. Here's the people who I believe in. Who are some of the names that people will see on the bookstore?
Yes. Actually, I don't know all of them or haven't read all of them because, like I said, there are so many. But I'll just give you a few names. Andrew Womack, Beth Moore, Bill Johnson, Bill Winston, Dr. Caroline Leaf, Charles Capps, Chuck Pierce, David Jeremiah, Don Colbert, Dutch Sheets, Jermaine Copeland, Gloria Copeland, Jesse Duplantis, Joan Hunter, John G. Lake, John Maxwell, Jonathan Kahn, Joyce Meyer, Kenneth Copeland, Kenneth Hagan, Lee Strobel, Lester Summerall, Marilyn Hickey, Max Lucado, Perry Stone, Rick Renner, Robert Henderson, Smith Wigglesworth, Stormy O'Martian, T.D. Jakes, T.L. Osborne, Tony Evans, Barbara Cameron, Beverly Lewis, Jeanette Oak, Karen Kingsbury, and I'm adding authors every day.
And because we know you so well, I would say those are authors, those are titles, those are people that you would say they're influential, especially for you and for people that you minister to. I hear those names and think, okay, Womack makes sense. And Dutch Sheets makes sense. Those are the types of teachers where you would say those folks were kind of influential in me and where God has me today. Is that fair?
Absolutely. I do know several of these and listened to or read several of these authors. However, I'm trying also to make it broader for the Christian audience, even for the evangelical and non-spirit-filled audience. And so that they would find things that they want. There are topics, there are Bibles. I've got so many Bibles of different translations, like the King James, New King James, New American Standard, NIV, and the Passion Translation, the Message Bible. I've also got biblical studies. There's biographies of well-known and not so well-known just Christian giants. And then there's children's books. There are youth books, there are devotionals, there's fiction as well as nonfiction, there's health and fitness books, people who want to study about health and fitness, marriage and family and relationships, there's men's category and the women's category, spiritual growth, there's prophecy, there's lots of books on prayer. So there's lots of categories here. I'm trying to make it something for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. And that, what's the address of that again? It's really easy to remember. I want people to capture this. It's VF Bookstore.
It's VF, remember, Victorious Faith. So VF, like victory, victorious in faith, christianbookstore.com. christianbookstore.com.
Okay.
VFChristianbookstore.com.
VFChristianbookstore.com. Really, so something you can remember. And of course, if you forget in any way, we'll give you all the information on how to connect with Cherri and her website, YouTube. She's got so many great ways you can connect with her. Now, your new book, Adventures with Jesus, I had the chance to preview. It was my honor to be able to preview that, to be able to give you one of the endorsements that is in the book. And I'll tell the listeners that for me, it kind of fills two boxes, if you will. One is so many encouraging stories about the gospel. And what I was struck by is all the times that God came through when things looked like they were kind of bleak. And story after story in the book, gives those examples where, okay, here it is. Here's a challenge. You stepped out bravely, and guess what? God was right there. And so I loved those, but I also really enjoyed that there were so many different places that you've been. You've been so many places. It blows my mind. And in those experiences, you've kind of have this travel log feel. It almost has this book of travel element to it as well as the gospel. So how are you, when you're talking to people, how, Cherri, are you, how are you telling them, this is my book and here's what it's about?
Well, you just hit it very well. And I traveled for over 12 years, but I was in 19 countries. I was an itinerating missionary, which is not as common as a missionary who goes and just lives in one place. I itinerated around different cities, states, and countries for 19 years and literally circled the globe multiple times. And so actually when I was writing it, and actually towards the end of when I was writing it, the Holy Spirit put in my heart, now go back through the whole book and make it also a travel book. And so that when I listed it with the ISBN number, I put it also under a travel category so that even non-Christians who are interested in travel could be drawn to it. And so I highlighted that even the more tourist aspects of the places, some of the places I went to. Now, some places you couldn't call them tourist at all, but the places that were, I highlighted those aspects about it and really made it also a travel log as well, like you said.
I showed that to my daughter, who loves to learn about travel, and I think part of her response was, someone who may not know the Lord but is travel oriented might very well enjoy this book, kind of be drawn to it, and then start to realize, there's kind of a spiritual message here too. I wonder who this Jesus guy is. So it's got that really cool element to it that it fits for someone like that, as well as the believer who says, man, I want to read these stories of God just coming through and have that encouragement, as I see how people were touched. And you're going to do some book signings for this too, once we're back where we can do that kind of thing. Is that the case?
Absolutely, yes. As soon as our society is a little bit back to normal, we're free to go in places and the stores are open. I am planning on doing book signings. I haven't arranged it or gotten details on it, but I say this is my vision. I want to go to north, south, east, and west metro area, and I want to go into the northern Colorado, at least one location up there, because I also feel like it's an opportunity to meet my radio listeners. And so if they can come out to the book signing, I can say hi, shake their hands, and talk with them as well.
Yeah, it'll give you a chance to do both. And your radio program is listened by many thousands of people. We know that. You experience that because you hear from so many of them, and you're heard on multiple stations with with Crawford Broadcasting. So again, that radio program is Victorious Faith. The primary station is KLTT, where it's heard at 6 a.m. as well as repeated at other times during the week and on the weekend. Then you also can catch the program Victorious Faith with Cherri on sister station KLDC. Go to the lineup page on the KLDC website, or KLTT for that matter. It'll give you the options. Cherri, we've got a couple minutes left. So how do people connect with you to get the book, to get one of your other two books? Also to let's say they want to listen to the radio program, they want to come and have a chance to meet you. What's the best way to do that?
Well, I have the website. The website is victoriousfaith.co, and CO is like Colorado, not a .com. victoriousfaith.co, and there's my main website. I list all my books there. Okay. Also, there is the connecting tab to the bookstore. There is also the connecting link to the YouTube channel for the radio broadcasts. All the radio broadcasts are archived there, and have a link to my YouTube channel. I have a YouTube channel under my name, Cherri Campbell, and then I also do monthly services. Now we're almost going every 3 weeks, except during the stay-at-home time.
Okay.
And so otherwise, we're meeting up at I say up because I'm in Castle Rock, so I go north to Thornton and the Hotel Holiday Inn at 120th Avenue. You can look at my website for the meeting schedule dates there. And I will also be listing my book signing dates when I get those up. And I just want to throw in real quickly what you mentioned. My other two books are the first two books of the publishing of my curriculum. And in the Adventures with Jesus book, it's the story of my traveling and teaching my Bible school curriculum in Bible schools and churches and pastors and ministers conferences. And so I just taught this curriculum everywhere I went. And now people have asked me for that curriculum countless times. And I said, well, it's not published yet, but now I am publishing it one lesson at a time. And so the first two lessons are now in print, and they are called God Loves Me and The Story of God's Glorious Plan for Man. They sound simple, they are, but they're also revelational and deeper than what most people would know on a surface elementary level. People who have read them said, Cherri, this is deep. And it is deep. That's the way I teach. That's the way I study, is deep. So, and I've had the responses of readers from these books and my autobiography that people are just really thrilled and excited about them. And I wanted to throw that in too.
Yes, yes. You had all those years as a missionary, and God's taken that now, and so now you have those first two books. So now it's on record. That teaching, and two. All of this through the bookstore. Now that you have this wonderful resource, we want people, again, to remember it's vfchristianbookstore.com. So that's got Cherri's 3 books, the first 2 as well as the very newest, where she'll be doing the book signings. Then also her website, victoriousfaith.co. And realize it's .co, as in Colorado, not .com. Cherri, we're really grateful for you. You've been such a wonderful partner and a friend, and we know our listeners are blessed every day by your radio program. So thank you so much for taking the time with us and for telling us about your exciting new book, the website, and all the things you have going on.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. I'm grateful and honored that you've given me this time. Thank you.
The preceding program was a special presentation from Colorado's Christian station, 670 AM KLTT.